closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Sorry. All right. What's up, my peoples? Whether you're the ones that like to admit it or not. What an interesting day. We all are, man. It's amazing how different life can be one day and then the next day. One day you're dealing with one set of problems or another. The next day you find out your spouse has cancer. I'm not saying that's happened to me, but I'm just saying. I know people that have experienced that, have gone through that. And it's just really difficult, man. It's just really, really crazy how you know, it's all so difficult, like, on purpose. Right? On your way to a Klan rally. Is that how you spell Klan? God, I love when the people out here, the shit talking, the dumb Jew profiles come here and talk shit and they can't even spell basic words correctly. Yep. That's where I'm going. Oh, man. Thank you. By the way, thank you. I always have to... I appreciate the trolls way more than they seem to understand that I do. And I just think it's also funny. How can you be so stupid? How does that even happen? How is somebody that stupid? You don't know how to spell basic words right? You don't know how to spell Klan right? Aren't you trying to talk shit? What's up, Claire? Claire's here. Hi, Claire. You know, this is it's all just wild. I mean, the whole thing is just, when you think about how difficult life is, and then how much more difficult it's made on purpose. You have to ask, like, why are we still allowing it to be this way? Why aren't we unifying and destroying the chains that bind us? Getting lectured by Mr. Flat Earth. Yep, that's me. Mr. Flat Earth. And who told you to be here? You're getting lectured by Mr. Flat Earth. This is the best. Like, I just, it's so funny. And really, I have to stop giving it any sort of attention. You know, I have to make a rule that unless you're saying something that matters or has a sort of intelligent thought behind it, I'm really not going to bother with you anymore. Because it's such a stupid waste of time. Whoa, they got rid of this whole entrance? Wow. That's crazy. I wasn't expecting all that. Oh, and I can't get through there either. I wonder where I'm supposed to go. I knew I should have went next time. But I mean, it's crazy, right? You know, I go live every day and I question the narrative we're given, and for some reason that really bothers a lot of people. I'm supposed to believe those are real people, not bots or anything like that. But these real people get really, really upset at me for saying things that they're not smart enough to override or debunk. And because they haven't thought about it, they haven't asked the same question I've asked, then I shouldn't ask it. Hey, Dance Long Short Video. What's happening? How do you feel about Israel? How do you feel about these disgusting piece of shit Jews? Why are we sitting at this light? Somebody said nothing, so thanks for your nothing comment. That always helps. It always makes a bunch of sense that people would say nothing. Right? Oh boy. I don't know, man. I think we are in this position to where, like, it's bad, and everybody knows it's bad, and everybody talks about how bad it is. And yet, like, you don't want to talk about how we fix it. 4 fucking garage doors. Jesus. That's a house. Fulvari. Whatever that means. I just think we should be, we should be better than we are. And they've manipulated us into these fucking idiot, these idiot, easily controlled goyim who look for a Jesus to tell us what to think, or, it's all so obviously fake and stupid, and they're manipulating us. And they don't live by the same rules we live by. Like, how many different times do you have to see a famous person get in trouble for something that if you did it, you'd go to prison for the rest of your life, but they do it and they get a slap on the wrist. These Jews that control the narrative, they do it for their benefit. Why wouldn't they? Of course they would. And the fact that we don't overthrow this system that keeps us slaves just shows you how and why it works so well. We're all slaves. They have people thinking that, like, if you work for some company that's an obvious that brands itself a pyramid scheme, or a pyramid, then that's bad. But you don't think your job is that? You don't think where you work is a pyramid? Like, it's all about perspective and how you choose to see the world. And if you choose to be blinded by faith, or you choose to, and faith comes in many forms, whether it's patriotism or it's, racial or whatever it is, like it's all just a manipulation. And it's all a distraction to keep us from focusing on who's keeping us down. Your head's being held in the toilet, and instead of you complaining about the hand holding your head in the toilet, you're like, man, this toilet sure is dirty. It's like that's how stupid they have us. Of course the toilet's dirty. It's a fucking toilet. I mean, we could clean it. We could actually pull our heads out of the toilet altogether and do something else. But unless you're gonna acknowledge that there's somebody holding your head there, bro did the whole rock. Yes, I sure did. You know me, smoking those rocks because I know things you don't. It's always amazing to me. It's always amazing how many people will, like, they will come out and be like, hey, I'm stupid. I have to say something because I'm stupid. I can't actually, like, address anything being said. I'm not smart enough to acknowledge anything or debunk anything, but I want attention. I'm stupid. It's wild, man. Wild. And I'm always like, to me, that the motivation for everything is the thing that we should be focusing on, right? What motivates any situation, whether it's, these idiot trolls, or, the disgusting piece of shit Jews that are committing genocide right now. Like you? No, I'm doing my own video. You're the goofball that comes with the anonymity and isn't smart enough to answer for what the video is talking about. But at least you can acknowledge that you hear the things being said. So that second comment means you actually do hear things being said, but like I say, you're just not smart enough to actually debunk what's being said or even hear it correctly. And this is how you respond. I mean, it's very common. This isn't special. This is what happens when somebody questions the Jews. For some reason, random profiles come out and I have a driver, dummy, and it's your YOU apostrophe RE, right? Your YOUR gonna crash. My gonna crash what? I don't have a gonna crash. Do you have a gonna crash? Stupid people. I don't understand. What's this convo about? What are we arguing about? I couldn't tell you, honestly. If I knew what it was that motivated stupid people to point out their own stupidity, I'd be a zillionaire. But I look at this situation and my mission statement is that the Goyim should pull together and unify to overthrow the Jews that control our narrative and keep us slaves, while also, if we cut Israel off and we free up $3.8 billion a year, then we can use that money to kill pedophiles. So I personally can't understand why anybody would be opposed to me, other than if they're Jewish pedophiles. But they'll never acknowledge it, and they'll never tell you what exactly is bothering them so much. I'm in a trench watching this conversation. Wait, let's see. Listening to Russian, she's a villain. What's the issue? Is breathing, my guy. Duh, I have a driver. It's on the left side of the car. Yeah, I have a driver. How do you know I don't have a car that drives on the right side? You don't know anything. But I do have a driver. And this is kind of like the whole editing Wikipedia thing, right? Instead of talking about the thing being talked about, like the Jewish control, the genocide, the lack of Jesus, all these things, these idiots want to focus on stupid things, and I'm always amazed by it. But it's like when you're desperate and you have nothing else to focus on that you can focus on, like these guys have a job to do. A lot of these guys are working. It's their job to go through if you're stupid enough to think that the system doesn't have government trolls perpetually policing social media, I don't know what to tell you. They give it to us for free. Why do you think they give it to us for free? What do you think about Alex Jones? Alex Jones has a really good life, and Alex Jones doesn't talk about Israel. Alex Jones is the definition of controlled opposition. I'm a Jew. I'm fighting with 3 Muslims. Sure you are. If you were fighting with anybody, they'd be kicking your ass because you're a Jew, and Jews are pussies. We're recording this as evidence, and we'll be reporting it to the authorities. The red was right. You go ahead and do that. Because again, this is what desperation is. Who is going to be motivated like that? You're telling me some random person just came on my feed and was like, hey, I can't prove what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's so stupid. I think people are just amazingly stupid. And I don't know, I do this feed as like a proof of that. People wonder what's going on in this world. We got a Ukraine thing in. Ukraine is... Does nobody ever ask why the United States even gives a shit about Ukraine? Ukraine is... They literally supply us nothing. Why should we give a shit about Ukraine, especially Kiev? Well, if you do just a little bit of work, you'll see that it's because Kiev is the home to one of the largest Jewish populations in that region. And when you understand that at least makes sense. Everything else doesn't make any sense. You can't give me any other reason that makes sense. It might be disgusting, it might be wrong, but at least, oh, okay, yep. The Jew-controlled United States gives a shit about Kiev because Kiev is full of Jews. My driver prefers to remain anonymous. Thank you very much. He or she doesn't like the attention. Dude keeps popping up in my feed. You know what you gotta do? Then you just tell the feed that you're not interested in these videos. It's really simple. Ukraine is where all of our titanium comes from. Yeah, that's what it is. Oh my God, so stupid. So again, there's all these profiles that are so much more concerned with my driver than the Jew narrative, than the bashing of all goofy ass Jewish religious figures like Jesus and Muhammad and Allah and God and all the other bullshit you agree with or you fall for. Yep. Yet my driver is way more important than that. Do you guys even ask yourself, why you think the way you do? Do you wrap your head around that? Do you ever question your thoughts? So many people out there supposedly hate gays. Do you know why you hate gays so much? Ukraine has a lot of money for pharmaceutical companies. Because it's full of Jews. It's all Jews, man. Yeah. Why would... Again, I'm not concerned with what you think about my driver situation. They're not here to entertain you, anything like that. They're here to drive a car. So, to think that, again, any of that is more important than what's being talked about just shows you how desperate these random Team Jorge profiles are to keep people from talking about them. Right? Think about it, man. How many of you know who Team Jorge is? Unless you've been on my... I can confidently say that unless you've been on my feed, you have no idea who Team Jorge is. And, for those that don't know, Team Jorge is an Israeli black ops organization, extremely well-funded, extremely off the books, that basically manipulate social media as they see fit. They have 40,000 bot profiles at their disposal, and they're just one Israeli black ops operation. So you don't like Jewish people? I just gotta know that. No, Jewish people are the worst. Absolutely the worst. Does everybody understand what circumcision is? That to Jews, circumcision is the most important thing in the world. It's the most important belief they have. And in the Jewish religion, it involves cutting and sucking on the baby penis. Do you guys understand that? You want to talk about stupid shit like Trump? This is not true. It absolutely is true. The Jews cut and that's what the bris is all about. They suck on the bloody baby penis. It's the moil. The whole thing's called the Brit Milah. And that's their gig. They cut and suck on the baby penis. That's why Jews have been kicked out of every country they've ever been in over the last 1,000 years, because of their fucking obsession with circumcision. It's disgusting. And it's even worse that they convince us to do it, non-Jews, because all we're doing, especially according to your stupid Bible, is marking ourselves as Jewish property. Like, you don't know, anybody, if you don't know this shit, don't say anything. Don't just be like, wah, you're wrong because I don't like what you're saying. If you don't know what the hell's going on, if you don't know like the definitions and the reasons and the history behind the shit, don't talk. You sound stupid. But the reason why circumcision is a thing is because your God, the Christian God that you guys all believe in, he doesn't actually care about whether you kill people or how you treat the world or whether you get drunk and beat your wife or sell drugs or, you know, kill animals, genocide. They don't, God doesn't care about any of that. The only thing God cares about is that Jews specifically continue to cut and suck baby penises. This is the covenant that Abraham makes with God, is that God will never flood the earth again as long as Jews continue to cut and suck baby penises and non-Jews get marked as Jewish property. That's what your Bible says. You can get mad all you want. That's what the truth is. That's why you you don't even circumcise your kids. A Jew probably doesn't. But this, like, it's wild to me that so many people believe this shit, and this is happening every day. You know, people, it's medical. If it was medical, then why doesn't it happen in Europe? Why does Europe deem it medically unnecessary? That the risks outweigh the benefits by a lot. If it was medical, it would be across the board. This is insanity. It's utter insanity. It's insanity that people believe in the Bible anyway, just in itself. By the way, if you're watching this, don't forget to like, sub, and share. I know it might not seem like it with my 300 some views, but I definitely need the help. Don't forget. And then I know a lot of people will be watching something and they won't even think about it. And I do it all the time where I forget to like, sub, or share the video I'm watching. But if you're all for the world being a better place, like, sub, and share. The only way we fix the problems is if we identify the problems. And if you want to sit there and keep talking about the individual tentacles of the monster, well, guess what? The tentacles grow back. The monster stays alive when you cut the tentacles off. But if you cut the head off the monster dies. So me personally, I'm only interested in talking about the head of the monster. Look it up. So I've got all these I have multiple people that come in every day to, instead of telling me what I'm wrong about, they try to convince you guys that there's something wrong with me mentally. So any of you that might be on the fence or whatever, or, you know, hey, wait, I didn't know we were allowed to say things like this. If they come in and they convince you that I'm crazy, well, then you're more than likely going to you know, dismiss the things that are said. But let me ask you this. I always ask, let's just say I was mentally wacky. I was fucking nuts. I took lithium, I took Demerol, I took Paxil, I took all of these different things. I beat my wife, I beat my kids, I sold drugs, I drank all the time. You know, you name off the bad thing and let's say I did it. Does that take anything away from what I'm saying? Does that make Jews cutting and sucking baby penises okay? Does that make it okay? Like, does that take away from the Abraham circumcision story? Does that somehow make that story any different? Like, that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing this desperate attempt
to try to shoot the messenger, so to speak. And yet, instead of successfully doing anything like that, like, I'm giving you more than enough. This is a feed of somebody who's openly talking bad about Jews, openly talking bad about religion. You know, you name it, I'm talking about it. I believe the earth isn't round. I believe chemtrails exist. I believe vaccines are bad. I believe all of those things. Why don't you focus in on any of those things instead of some dumb shit? Yes, submarines definitely aren't real. And like, I don't understand why people are so, like, there are over 200 people here right now are just, man, they're mad. Don't you have other things to do on a Saturday morning? You're going to sit here and get mad at somebody that's asking questions you're too dumb to answer or ask. That's what you're going to do. That's your plan for the day. I genuinely pray you get better one day. So if you honestly think that prayer works, like you really do believe that the God of the universe sits around and listens to your prayers, like he'll change the way he's doing things to fit your prayers, then you don't need to pray for me. Nothing about me needs prayer. At least if you compare it to the clergy continuously raping little boys and children. Why don't, if you honestly think prayer works even a little bit, even if you think maybe even a tiny bit it works, the only thing you should be praying for is that the clergy stops raping little boys, stops raping children. Because everything else is nothing. All of your own personal bullshit. I need a job. I want my boyfriend to like me more. I need to quit drinking. Whatever it may be. That pales in comparison to all the children literally being raped by clergy right now. Right now it's happening. So, if you think with all that prayer juice, all that magic powers you have to get God to change his ways, to change God's plan, if you are arrogant enough to think that that's how that works, then really, why are you praying for anything other than that? Are you really that stupid? Cars are ground submarines. Yep. Because we've got billions of pounds of water pressing in on us all the time. And we need something to make air so we can breathe. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you know, it's like a call, boys. Again, there's yet another person that instead of actually, you know, answering the things that I'm saying that have them so mad, they want to stop the feed, they want to call the police, they want to do all these dumb things. And I'm always amazed by that. That's basically you just admitting you can't best me in the argument. Because you absolutely could. If you could, you would. If you could say something, you would. You're proving that you would say something. Everything you say is proof that you would say something. But instead, you want to keep playing this dumb game where you'll talk about everything but. Bro, there is no argument, bro. Uh-oh. You are the one who isn't asking questions. Right, I'm just presenting things that if you disagree with them, you should be able to say so. I can ask you guys all day, why do you believe in God? You know, Christians are the dumbest of the big three. The three Abrahamic religions, so they're all actually Jewish religions. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. It's all Judaism. They're all the Abrahamic religions. Abraham, the father of the Jewish people, blah, 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 blah. But the Jews believe the Jews are special. The Muslims believe the Muslims are special. The Christians believe the Jews are special. Do you understand how ridiculous that is? The Jews are the bad guys in the Bible. In the Bible, the Jews are the bad guys. The Jews are the ones that are hunting some Jesus. They're hunting Jesus. The Jews are the one that Abraham is the bad guy. He's the head bad guy. It's not, it's Satan. No, it's the Jews. And the Jews look down on Christians. They think Christians are fucking stupid. They think your beliefs are stupid. They think Mary is boiling in a vat of boiling semen for all of eternity in hell, blah, blah, blah. That's what they believe. And yet, not only are they the bad guys in the Bible, and they think really poorly of you, the average Christian, the average Goyim, the average Gentile. You think they are your God's favorite chosen people? Why would anyone how is that not mind-blowing to people? When you finally realize that's what's happening, like, share, sub, by the way. If you understand what I'm saying, like, share, sub. Think about how nuts that is. Like Christians would have all the problems in the world if it was Muslims that were God's chosen people. They would absolutely see a problem with that. It's nuts. It's fucking nuts. And you don't see why, what the benefit is. You don't see why, how the Jews use that to their benefit. They're literally committing genocide right now because they say the book that they gave us says it's okay. And your American tax dollars are not only paying for the weapons, but they're paying for the airplanes and all the fighter jets and everything that's delivering the payload. You think that's okay? You don't understand why you believing those are God's chosen people and they're not to be questioned and they're allowed to do whatever they want and blah, blah. You don't see why that's a problem? What about the fact that your government is full of all sorts of dual Israeli citizens? How many other countries do our government officials have dual citizenship with? Do you know of any? Do you know of any dual Iraqi American citizens that have government positions? Do you know of any dual Russian American citizens that have government positions? Don't you think that's a bit of weird shit? Oh, Jesus. Jewish summer. Look at all these dumb comments. I don't even need to read the comments because I know nobody's smart enough to address what I'm saying. I'm just somehow getting a bunch of dumb trolls that are mad because I'm saying these things. How does that ever make sense? As they're slowly trying to kill the feed. A feed doesn't jump up to 300 fucking viewers and then slowly start to fall apart. That's not how that works. I'm talking about the same shit I was talking about that blew it up. So how does it get down like this? The more subs I get, the more shares the feed gets, the more likes the feed gets, the further down the number drops. How many 500, 600 subscriber people do you know that have these kind of numbers? Think about this shit, man. It's literally the same argument, the same concept across the board. Doesn't matter what it is. If I'm wrong, just tell me what I'm wrong about, and don't tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me how and why I'm wrong. And then I never have to say it again, right? If I'm wrong, then I go, oh shit, I guess I'm wrong. I can't say that again. I don't want to be stupid and say things that are wrong. But you notice how the truth gets you attacked? I don't understand why my feed isn't full of people going, fuck, man, I didn't know that was what circumcision was. That's fucking awful. I didn't know that. I didn't know the Jews were sucking on them. That's fucking... Why are we allowing that? How come all you Americans out there are so okay with Jews, but you're not okay with anybody else? Don't you question that? Right? Where do you, like, do you really just exist in this world as like this NPC that's just sort of like, oh, I guess it all works the way they tell me it works, even though it's clearly, not that way. They tell me it is, so I'm just gonna believe it. It's fucking weird. I personally like the whole troll perspective. I can't imagine why anyone would ever waste their time trolling by looking stupid. Like, if you're gonna troll somebody, like, to me, it seems like the goal of trolling is to fuck the person all up and to get them upset and to fuck up their feed. So to me, it seems like you would address the things that, if somebody like me is talking, some arrogant egomaniac who thinks he's right about everything, if someone like me is talking the way I'm talking, you would think the best way to sort of ruin my shit is to tell me what I'm wrong about. Make me look like the idiot that you think I am or you say I am, whatever. Yet instead, the only thing that comes my way is people that, like, they have to make up their own narrative just so they can speak. That's just weird to me. I don't know. I'll never understand it. My whole goal in life is to gain some understanding on things. Try to understand the things that I don't. That's why I read a lot. That's why I go live. I go live and talk about what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, what I've learned, because I want to know if it stands up to scrutiny. And if people can pull apart my ideas and destroy what I'm thinking, like I do with Christianity, Judaism, all that shit, well, then I know what I'm doing is wrong. I need to make some adjustments. But it never works that way. Nobody ever has anything reasonable to say. It's really strange. And these are all people who, like, identify, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew. If you identify as the thing, shouldn't you know more about it? Like, as someone who scrutinizes your thing, I shouldn't know more about your thing than you do. But this is how this consistently works, and it's amazing to witness it. It's not really shocking anymore. Like, I guess it kind of is still, like, but it's more along the lines of like, everybody cries and complains about the way the world works. But then when somebody's like, okay, well, we can fix it. Let's fix it. Let's make it better. It's either there are real people, which I think maybe 20-30% of the shit talk is from real people. The other part is the Israeli bot profile. The AIM software, Advanced something Media Solutions or something. It's the Israeli Team Jorge program. And it's like, if you're going to look anything up, if you're going to leave, I'm out of here, whatever it is, go look up Team Jorge. Team, T-E-A-M, space, J-O-R-G-E, that's how you spell Jorge, J-O-R-G-E, and then put Israel in there just to make sure, we're talking about the same thing. And you'll be, like, that is your smoking gun. That's your if you just read into that story and spend half the time you spent on here talking shit, looking into Team Jorge, and you'll have all the answers you need. At least you should. You should. It's going to prove to you without a shadow of a doubt that Israel controls social media and the United States and regular media. Because the fact that the story wasn't picked up by every major media outlet and blown up to show that, holy shit, they interfered with the 2000, that's who interfered with the 2016 election. That's who put Trump in place, even though he lost the election by 2.7 million votes. It wasn't Russia. There's no evidence that Russia did it. You can't even show me how Russia supposedly interfered. Israel, on the other hand, they brag about it. AIPAC is something that needs to be disbanded immediately. AIPAC. There's the PACs, which are lobbying groups, and they're limited in how much money they're allowed to throw into whatever they're trying to lobby for. Whether it's whatever candidate or whatever. But when they make these super PACs, these AIPAC, when they make these super PACs, the amount of money they can donate to these organizations, it increases exponentially. And so you have these Israeli lobby groups that absolutely brag about it. They brag about not, they don't care about their American policies. They find whatever candidate is more sympathetic to Israel and willing to give the Israelis more of what they want. And whatever candidate is willing to do that gets all the money. And and in reality, it's all just bullshit anyway, because both sides are fucking paid actors to begin with. So it really doesn't even matter. It's whether or not the dumb goyim fall for it or not. If the dumb goyim keep falling for it, we keep voting even though they prove to us that voting doesn't matter. As long as we keep playing the game and we don't insist on things being better, it won't be. There are multiple times in history where, some waste company or whatever it is buried a bunch of barrels in a field. And at some point after that, a school or whatever was built on that site. And then later on, the kids of that go to that school start coming down with cancers and tumors and leukemias and all this kind of shit. Well, at that point, everybody knows what the cause is. They know that it's this company who has sorry, I saw something. They know it's this company that buried these things, and initially there'll be the parents and whatever will have this outcry demanding that there's a cleanup, and the company will spend millions and millions of dollars defending that they didn't do it, that the cancer is being caused by something else, that they'll play every card they can until enough of the country is then screaming, hey, we're going to boycott your thing. We demand that you fix this. And as soon as that level is reached, the company then cleans up the spill immediately. Or they go through and they dig up all the barrels and remove them and clean up and it takes I don't know how long, but it takes way less time than you would think it would, and it's done with and it's over with. And then why didn't you guys just do that from the beginning? And the reason is because they didn't have to, because we didn't make them. Every semi that you see driving down the road, right? That space between the back wheels and the middle wheels, the front middle wheels, that undercarriage, there's something called underride accidents involving semis. And the way it works is because all of the sensors in the car are in the front part of the car. When you go underneath the semi, their heads cut off and shit. And these things are completely avoidable. It's only a few $100s per truck to outfit all of these trucks with these underride protection flaps, basically. These flaps that go underneath. They might even help the truck get better gas mileage, if they're designed the right way. But they increase the likelihood of survival in one of these crashes is thousands of %. And yet, the Jew of the trucking companies refuse to make this a mandatory thing, along with the Jew owners in the government. Our Jewish bosses in the government that we supposedly elect to represent us, they don't give a fuck. This is literally a couple $100. It would create a bunch of jobs, like it would create a bunch of work. It should be absolutely mandatory. And if anybody says, oh, those don't work very well, they work better than nothing does. And as time progresses, as this is a mandatory thing and time progresses, more and more fucking money and advancements will be put into it, and it will become safer and safer. Electric vehicles existed well early into the 1800s, long before gasoline-powered cars. But the Jew owners wanted to be able to exploit the gas-powered vehicles in that whole industry. So they eliminated the electric cars in the 1800s. Imagine if for the last 100 fucking 40, 50 years, instead of working on these, internal combustion engines that are just fucking stupid and impractical, unsustainable, instead of that, we'd been working on electric engines this whole time. Imagine how much further we would be in that process. Ask yourself why that doesn't exist. At the same time, ask yourself why there are so many people more concerned with where I live than what I'm saying. Who is going to be that? Who is going to be that person that is not like, holy shit, yeah, our American lives, our American tax dollars, who is more concerned and mad about what I'm saying than they are, or mad that I'm saying? This is proof that it's Israel, as always. And you have to know what you're looking for to know what you're looking at, right? But this is how the Israelis work. If you look across the board, you find anybody that talks bad about Israel, that tries to talk about the genocide happening, that talks, that exposes anything that has to do with these crazy piece of shit Jews. And what do you hear? Do you ever hear anybody deny it? Do you ever hear anybody like, no, the Jews are good because of this, or, blah? You ever hear anything like that? We give Israel $3.8 billion a year because they are our ally. Yeah, well, how do they help us? They're just our ally. Don't worry about it. Right? Like, they never ever give you, they don't even engage your conversation, which is what you would do. I believe I'm telling the truth. So what do? I go live and try to talk about it. And I allow people, if they can, to debunk anything I have to say. Like, you have all the power to say whatever you want. Some dumbass says he's accelerating because they can't see the car that's next to us. Obviously. Yeah, my vehicle doesn't make that sound. I don't have a big truck. Nice try, though. Like, this is the best that people can come up with. Why do you think that is? I'm the crazy nut talking about you're allowed to, you should be proud of your anti-Semitism. I am. You're allowed to talk about the Jews. It's okay. I'm the crazy nut telling you the earth isn't round. I'm the crazy nut telling you Jesus isn't real. Blah, blah, blah. Why wouldn't you just focus on those things? Why are so many people so concerned? We're going to do something to you. Why? What did I do that harms you? I'm hurting your feelings so badly. Oh, I'm hurting your feelings. I don't like what you're saying, and I'm not smart enough to debunk it, so I'm going to get mad. Like, that's literally all that keeps happening. And those with a fucking brain, I hope you're seeing it for what it is. Right? I'd love for you to know, like, I'd love for you to see, or at least if you don't see that, you tell me what this is. I'd love to hear, like, you tell me, explain to me the whole, oh, it's not the Israelis, it's just some random group of weirdo virgins who are absolutely obsessed with you. They won't tell you why they're here. They won't answer for why they're here or what has them so upset. But boy, are they upset, and they want you to stop talking for some reason. Why would anybody want me to stop talking? Other than you're a Jewish pedophile, or you support pedophilia in some way, whatever. Like, I get it. When you're mad at me and you're trying to stop me from talking and stop me from gaining power and gaining a footing and gaining an audience, like, I totally understand if you're a pedophile or you're a dumb Jew. I totally get it. I don't blame you. And I know that there's really nothing you can say, like, that can debunk me. What could you possibly say? What am I getting wrong? So I get that that's why these people would encourage people not to watch, encourage people to report, talk about what I'm doing, anything like that. But unless you're some dumb Jew or a dumb Jew pedophile or just a pedophile, I can't understand what would have you so upset. Think about it. Make it make sense. Anybody who wants to make it make sense, go right ahead. I said wrong. What am I wrong about? See, you're so stupid that you jump on something like that. Instead of, like, actually hearing what I'm saying, you're saying I lied about something. And what did I didn't ask what did I lie about. I'm asking you, what am I getting wrong? What am I talking about that isn't the truth? But I get it. Like, I absolutely get it. If you're a dumb Jew or a pedophile, I get why you would focus on the driving thing. My driver's laughing at you right now, actually. But I get why that's what you would do. You have nothing else. What else could you say? Especially those that have been here for fucking multiple days in a row. You've been here for days on end. You are absolutely, totally obsessed with me. And yet, I'm a happily married guy, so you can't get me in that regard. And there's nothing that I'm saying that's wrong. So you can't actually debunk anything I'm saying. You can't even debunk the drive. There are all these dumb profiles that can jump on that. They keep saying the stupid thing that they can't even prove. Then to deny being a pedophile? Who the fuck is that? How many people out there would allow someone to call them a pedophile and not defend that? Not be like, are you kidding me? All these dumb Jews what can they say? Right? They're not going to deny it because they can't. For some reason, I don't even get it. I mean, I guess because they are pedophiles, they don't see it as an important thing. they can't understand why someone who isn't a pedophile would be absolutely appalled by that sort of accusation, right? So they just think it's like something stupid, like, you know, I'm saying they're chewing gum or something. I'm not. What do I care about if he says I'm chewing gum? To them, being a pedophile isn't a big deal. They've already reconciled that with themselves. Right? You know, they have this group that insulates them so that they don't have to feel weird and they don't have to feel bad. But the reality is, they're disgusting pedophiles and they know it. They're disgusting pedophiles and they're dumb Jews. These dumb Jew Israelis. I mean, can you imagine? Like, we all know how superior the Jews feel about us, you know, about themselves compared to us, right? Like, everybody knows that, I mean, they literally walk around calling themselves God's chosen people. So can you imagine how frustrating and irritating and awful it must be for a dumb Jew to be outmatched by some dumb goyim like me? I don't have the right haircut. My face isn't shaved the right way. Can you imagine? They can't be like, they know there's nothing they can say. They can't come in here and go, our people don't cut and suck baby penises, because they do. They know they can't deny any of it. Any of it. What piece of shits they are, the genocide, they can't do any of that shit. And their feelings are hurt. They don't like that I'm saying these things, so they're desperately trying to hurt my feelings back. But I don't do anything that you know, I'm embarrassed of. I'm extremely proud of everything I do, especially my anti-Semitism. You know, like, again, think about it. Oh man, you guys sure are making me look bad by giving me thousands of views on each feed. You hate me so much, you're boosting my feed each time with thousands and thousands of views. Ooh, ow. Oh, ow, that hurts me so much. And it's the same thing, like again, you could be telling me how I'm wrong about Jews and Israel and God and Jesus and all that other stuff, but instead you want to keep talking about the driver thing, because what else can you say? I'm not wrong about the Jew stuff. I'm not wrong about any of that stuff. And you know it. So you're going to attempt to do something that you think you can do with the driver thing, but it doesn't even matter. It's just, all you're doing is proving me right. All you're doing is proving everything right. And I just appreciate you so much. Hundreds and hundreds, thousands of views, hundreds of comments, all kinds of fucking, you're making me famous because you hate me so much. If that doesn't scream dumb Jew, I don't know what does. You know, the Jews are the ones that'll tell you, the UN can't open the books on Israel. If the UN opens the books on Israel, that demonizes Israel. Well, if Israel was doing the right thing, if Israel was the good guy, why would they be demonized by looking into what they're doing? They should encourage the books to be opened, because it'll show that they've done nothing wrong and that they're the good guys. That's how it would be. It's just like, we're talking common sense here, you know. Subs are not real is just a phrase meaning use your common sense. It's all about common sense. Does any of this fucking make common sense to you? These idiots, all these fucking idiots coming on here and just providing me with so much beautiful fuel and doing nothing but make me look right and being the example. Like, if I was a nobody who wasn't telling the truth, why would so much effort be put into me? Why would so many bots, so many hundreds and thousands of profiles and all sorts of shit be put into me if I'm wrong? Who's gonna do it? They're going to come day after day. They're going to come and get lit up because I'm wrong. That makes so much sense. I totally believe it. And like I said, I appreciate it. Everybody, don't forget to go get your free download. www.the-bilderberg, BILDERBERG-group.com. It's free. It's music. It's music that talks about the same thing. If you want songs about teeth and shoes and hoes, every other artist is making those songs. I refuse to make the same song that's already been made a bunch of times. So if you want something different, something that stimulates your brain instead of fucking numbs you to sleep, then go get your free download. All you got to do is put 0 in the payment box. When it asks you how much you want to pay, you click download. It'll say, hey, thanks. How much do you want to pay? You could put $854.62, or you could put 0. Either way, it's going to work out. And the link will be in the description, along with a link to one of the songs that'll take you to the Facebook page. Go to the Facebook page. Go follow the Facebook page. Go show these fucking Jews that we're not going to be silenced. They're not going to win. They're winning right now, absolutely, but they're not going to win. And understand that, if you can best me, I'm not sitting here using a bunch of big words and a bunch of phrases that you don't understand, and you gotta trust that I have access to a bunch of information that you don't have. I have a special space telescope that'll say, I have the Holy Grail is tucked away in my. No, I'm using as dumbed down a lingo as I can. I'm not giving you any fucking crazy math equations and all that. I'm asking you to debunk things, or at least communicate about things on a common sense level. Just flat out common sense. If you can make more common sense than I do, then I'll be like, fuck yeah, you got me on that one. You're right. I didn't even think about it like that. Hell yeah, thanks for the info. Now I don't have to think about that anymore. You debunked what I'm saying. It's all good now. But that doesn't ever seem to be how this works. So, again, www.the-bilderberg, BILDERBERG-group.com. Go get your free download. Do the right thing. And fuck Israel. And all you pedophiles out there. Please kill yourself. Do the rest of the world a favor and kill yourself. Everybody else, go get your free download. See ya.